Welcome to the Daily High, Monday morning. How are you, Tone? You look camouflage over there in that grey
I'm
couch.
good. I'm good. I'm hanging out here in Miami. I'll be back in Panama. We're gonna wake this guy up. I had a little guest here with me for the show. He's still half sleeping.
Wow, look at you. Grey dog, grey couch, grey jacket. It's all happening, mate. You look a bit
Oh yeah,
blurry.
I'm wearing Japanese. It's you should know what it says. You
Yeah,
might be moving there.
it says Satoshi, but it's the wrong way. You see how it's written that way? It should be turned that vertical, like that.
Oh, I gotcha.
Or
Uh,
you could write it,
I gotta-
you could write it going down, but every character needs to turn like 90 degrees like that.
oh wow. Okay. Okay. I gotta.
Yeah, anyway, happy 65K. Woohoo. What a
I
day.
know,
What a
crazy,
week.
right?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And when you went to sleep last night, did the price jump? Did you get a surprise in the morning? I think maybe you didn't go to
Yeah.
sleep very long ago.
Before going to bed last night, the price did touch 64 for the second
Mm.
time. And I've been expecting this pop. Those of you that heard us on Twitter Spaces, it was myself and later joined by Joe Calasari. I explained what I was expecting. I was expecting a break of all-time high this week. We're already hit
Whoa.
65.6 earlier today, and I'll let Matt go through his charts first. I'm just gonna enjoy watching the charts.
Well, you just breezed over that very quickly. You think we're hitting all-time highs this week.
Yeah.
Copy and paste that, hold it to Tone. People are still talking about Tone saying 1K fucking 4 years ago. Sorry for swearing. Let's go to all-time highs this week. All right, let's go. All right, so I'll just move my little head here. I count on the weekly as well. It's just really, really, really exciting. I'm going to go down the time frames a little bit here. I'm going to find myself in this feeling where like I got nothing to talk about because we're just scooting above it all. So it's going to be a bit of a rah rah show, but it is what it is. This blue line that you see right here that was at 30, a 53,496. I had $130,000 3x leverage long on. But during this consolidation period here, as we started to come down and get very near to this blue line right here, I actually added leverage to this position to make it a 5x position, freeing up some initial capital there in the trade, and added another. Initially, I added $50,000 to the trade, and then I think it was even today, and I'll show on the 4 hour time frame. I know exactly where it was, where I added another $20,000. So now I'm now $200,500 long in this trade, and feeling really good in about 0.5 Bitcoin profit where we sit right now. Very, very happy with that trade. 12 hour time frame. Uh, Again, we've just 1 minute ago closed this 12 hour candle, and it's the count, the MRI count has reset, giving us a green star candle on the 12 hour time frame. I'm very, very, very pleased with that. Definitely we could come back down and touch back here on the 7 or whatever, who knows? But I mean, it's just a very, very good sign that we got to the MRI top. We, my favorite word, meandered for a moment, and then we broke out once again. I'm going to go to the 4 hour time frame now as we scoot through them. When I put this trade on, I was really, really happy. I actually messaged Tone about it. About here, I added $50,000 extra to the trade and moved my initial entry price up to about 55,000. And then when we came down and touched on the 7 SMA once again, I had extra capital, and I felt like, why have I got extra capital sitting in the account that I'm not using? I might as well just do it. And so I added the additional 20,000 in. I've actually still got capital in there that I could use as well, but I didn't want to get my average entry price too high and be a bit cute with it. I will probably add more in if this thing takes off and we get a nice little correction and it reforms a new sort of structure of the market. But I didn't want to get too close because now I'm at 56. We'll call it 56,300 is my entry with a pretty good size at the moment. I'm happy with the size. I was really, really happy on the 15-minute time frame using Bangbox, the other indicator. I'll just turn the MRI off for a second because when we had this these three signals come in, but these three signals here come in, all of them got to the point and they would have got wicked out of the trade over here during this craziness that happened when we came up, hit 64 and dropped down. They all would have got out about here, giving all three of them giving 150%, 160% on average return from that trade. But we were able. Do you remember on Friday, Tone? I was saying how,
I do remember. I
yeah,
do
right,
remember.
yeah, that we got very,
You
very
you were
close.
you were concerned we were gonna pop to the upside without breaking that purple moving average, and it looks like you broke the purple moving average to the downside,
Yeah.
resetting the indicator, and it gave you a proper entry.
Right, because see right here, for this indicator to work
Yeah.
and for the future bot to work, it has to reset. And so that means it has to at least go below this purple line right here. And you can see here, it was, well, we'll call it like $5 off resetting. And I was a bit annoyed that we were going to continue up without me having a chance to get into this trade. But,
And then you
you know,
became double annoyed the second time it did the same thing.
and then it did it again, and then here I was like, oh, okay, great, we're finally eligible again to start getting long again. But I mean, I'm really really satisfied because like yes, if I got in here, it wouldn't have got into the trade here. It would have got into the trade here. Do you know what I mean? Probably around
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So actually, the indicator performed really really well because we did come down, and here it got stopped out of the trade probably here, but we got our 20% again. Okay, so yes, it didn't get any of this, but another positive 20% gain on this trade. We are racking up these trades right now. They're just going really really well. But again, now it's in no trade, obviously, but because it took this one already. But again, great trade. Happy that they are continually ticking over these 20% as we go. I'll just go finish off on the 1 hour time frame now. I haven't prepared anything here. I'm just looking at it, eyeballing it in real time. Oh, okay. We're crashing. It's all over. Damn it. Nah. Look again. I'm loving what I'm seeing from this. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. I don't have any higher targets. I don't have any. That's not the way I trade. So unfortunately, I can't tell you where I even think we're going. So I just have to go to like a weekly time frame and I want to do a measured move from the current price. I'll do it from the top of this candle where we got the highest point we got to, which was 65. We'll call it 600 or 65,555 to the absolute peak that we ever got to. We're only 5% off from the top point that we got to in the market from reaching all-time highs. I can't tell you how exciting that is. I don't have any. I feel sick if somebody says, "Oh, it's just a big cup and handle." Those people are idiots. They might end up being right that we come up to 68 or something, and then do form this cup and handle pattern. But this is not the way that you would use a cup and handle over on a weekly time frame like this. I can't imagine that you would have the confidence to go, okay, well, we'll do a measured move on this thing and go, okay, cool, we'll move it up. That's not, I don't think that's valid, even though the shape actually might form some kind of a cup and handle pattern just through pure
Well, yeah, well, you
coincidence.
can get a crazy head and shoulders, right? Like if you zoom out a little bit,
Yeah, I
right?
see
That
what you
was a
mean. Yeah,
50% correction, right? So if we do
yeah.
correct, uh,
So so
about
you think it you
50%
you
over
think
the
it's
next six.
valid like that 50% we get
Yeah.
we come back from here or anywhere around this
Right, but you
area,
see that's
do another
that's the thing.
50%?
That's a big if, right? So
Right.
my what bothers me is yes, we could get a cup and handle, and yes, we could get a head and shoulders, right? But
Yep.
when it comes to cups and handles and head and shoulders, you're only supposed to talk about them after they have already formed. You don't talk about a head and shoulders before the right shoulder has even started forming, right? So assuming that we're going to top here and then go down, I think is way too premature, right? So I talk about cups and handles when the cup part is close to finishing,
Mm.
not before the cup part hasn't started.
Yeah, and I agree with you totally. It just I just could I don't I think that it's possible and people will be talking about, oh, it's an inverse head and shoulders, or it's a cup and handle over a 3 year period of time. I think that that would be a happy accident. That if it did that, I don't think it's tradable that you could make a measured move from that and
You see,
using the traditional forms.
it's actually more likely that we break the high. And I do have a target. I have at the very least, I have a Fibonacci projection. And
Oh,
that
that's at
Fibonacci
$100,000.
projection puts us at $102,000, right?
Mm.
The more likely scenario is a breakout here to that Fibonacci line, and then a pullback, treating the current area of double top from before as support. That's the more likely move than head and shoulders or a cup and hand.
Yeah, I'm in a really funny spot because I'm 100% long, and even I freed up more capital to be even more 100%
Right.
long, which is a funny thing to say, but to be more 100% long, and but I just don't have any targets here. I think that I'll just have to play it by ear, that to when to flip the spot positions don't need any management at this point. That the fact that I'm in from 17,200 and then another additional trade from 27,200, they don't need any maintenance. They're all good. I could stay in them for 4 years and be happy to do so. But the leverage trade, being in 0.5 profit, is very good profit in a week of trading. I'll just have to do a gut feel on this of when I want to get out of it. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know, Tone. Enlighten me. When do we get out of this trade I'm in?
Yeah. Oh, Matt, you're being corrected in a live chat. Tone didn't say 1,000 4 years ago. Tone said 1,300 6 years ago.
Yeah, correction noted.
Okay. Um, no, but the important thing is back then when I said it, Bitcoin was like 15,000. So I was way closer to right than I was to being wrong. Anyway,
I was being facetious because I actually
yeah.
caught your show last week. You're on your own channel, and somebody actually commented it. This guy reckons we're going to $1,000. I was, man, these guys are never letting go. I'm never letting
No.
go of that.
No. Okay, so on a weekly scale, I'm pretty confident that this week we're gonna close at a brand new weekly closing high. We may not close at an all-time high, but right now we're at 65,000. All we got to do is close $500 more. Now, uh, the really interesting thing, I mean, I'm 100% bullish allocated. I don't really care about the MRI alert candle. Next, starting tomorrow, we're gonna have a MRI top on the 4-day chart. Now, the MRI top on a 4-day chart is not as interesting to me as the MRI top on the daily chart. So there is a chance I will look at the market tomorrow morning. And if tomorrow morning we are flirting with the all-time high of 68,000, I am going to seriously consider taking profit on my 100% bullish allocation. You guys might see another one of these purple things, right? Like where Consensio says be 100% long, but Tone Vase is going against Consensio in taking out profit. Now, the last time I did that, it cost me nothing. I got back in at the same price, though I did sleep much better at night because there was a high probability of a pullback. And the time before I did that, it actually worked out for me very, very nicely with a monster pullback from with the ETF launch. So I'm gonna see how prices are performing tomorrow. Now, the other thing I was looking at, and I talked about it on my show on Saturday morning, I think I did a show, is this is the 10-minute chart. I'm gonna make it like a 4-hour chart, maybe. I was looking at this symmetric triangle pennant where we went up a lot, and then I put the measured move in. Basically, the measured move to get us there, and this triangle worked out absolutely perfectly.
You see the very
And
last candle within that range, the very last candle before the breakout, the one before the
yeah,
breakout.
it
Yeah,
broke down a smidge,
that's
which happens
that's
often.
that's when I got in. That's when I did the trade. That's when I re-leveraged and got in more.
Yeah,
50%,
very
50,000.
often on these triangle pennants, the last candle fakes you out before the measured move comes. And that's very common.
Yeah.
And this is the 4-hour chart, and it's going to come up on an MRI top as well later today. Right at the very end of today's candle, we got 3 more hours in this candle, and then 8 more hours to get the MRI top. So there'll be a 4-hour MRI top just as the daily MRI top candles forming.
And the 4-day.
And the 1-hour chart is resetting its counts. So the 1-hour chart could be in line with the 4-hour chart. If we reset this count and we keep it as a red 1, we can then get a second consecutive green star candle right here, which will create a beautiful bullish trade later today. And I think once the market opens, there's going to be massive FOMO into the ETFs. I just don't see, like when we go up on a Sunday night, right? We're about to open in, let's say, 2 hours. And in 2 hours, everyone's going to be looking, oh my God, Bitcoin's higher. So they're going to purchase the Bitcoin ETFs, driving the Bitcoin ETFs higher. I just don't see a Bitcoin sell-off today. Maybe on Wednesday, maybe on Thursday, but I just don't see it today.
No,
It can happen, of course, but I don't see it.
see, for you, it's Sunday night, right? But for
Right.
us over here in the correct side of the world in Asia, that's Monday morning, right? And I challenge somebody to go and find do a study. If there's any geeks in the group that like studying charts, go find out every single Sunday night, Monday morning in Asia when we have a great Monday morning. When the candle opens, see, it opens at me for 10:30 in the morning in South Australia, and then we have a great response off that weekly close and the first day of the week opening. When we have a great Monday week, for me, Monday, it tends to be a great week in my memory, but I'd love to prove that thesis. So I feel like the Monday pumps, that sounds like something that Crypto would say. Monday pumps are the best pumps. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's actually a fair statement. I've noticed that. So I agree that I don't expect tonight to be a big cascade crash because people are pulling profits on the market open. If anything, I think it'll kick the market off a bit.
Right. And I am curious how the S&P is going to open. It's a Monday, so there's usually very little action before market opens on a Monday. We had a great Friday close to the market. The stock market closed on an MRI top, which means this week is not the week I would be going long the stock market. The week after, maybe, but this current week for me is a caution week. I never go long the week after an MRI top. So if anything, you take your profit this week on the S&P. But hopefully this week is just consolidation. And then next week we'll, keep going higher and higher.
Well, you'd need
Yeah.
2 more weeks, wouldn't you, Tone? Next week is a non-trade week for you and the
Right.
S&P.
Next week is a non-trade week. So I would love to see that consolidation followed by, another breakout in the S&P.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this throughout the week because I think that's a really critical point. I could see that. I don't think it'll affect Bitcoin, or even influence Bitcoin, but it's certainly worth noting for sure.
Yeah, so right now the biggest takeaway is be very cautious. Be very cautious tomorrow. Be ready for tomorrow. If we rally to 68,000 during market hours today, I may be taking my profit today from my ETF position in my retirement fund because of the daily MRI that's coming. And the higher we go in the next 48 hours, the more likely I am to take profit, the higher percentage of my portfolio I plan to take profit. But, and again, very important, I am only looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction. So let's say we do have a blow off top and break the all-time high by tomorrow evening. I mean, we're going to do another video tomorrow morning, but you never know. So if by tomorrow evening we replicate this candle right here, the one we had on February 28th, or the February 27th and 28th, and we do one of these, like let's say we almost touch 70. We hit 69.5. Everyone thinks we're going to break 70. I will only be looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction. Maybe going as low as 62,000 where we consolidated last week. And then I'll be looking for more upside to match with a weekly MRI top that's coming later this month or early next. So that's kind of my mental projection. Try to take profit around here for a small 5 to 10% correction, followed by one more pump. But when we hit the weekly MRI top around the halving, that could be a much more serious correction, taking us back down to current price. But as I said on Spaces yesterday, I can easily see something between 84,000 and 92,000 before the halving.
And it's such a close period of time, isn't it? That's just so near. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
On
incredible.
that note, I don't have
Incredible.
much else to say.
No, no, me too. Me too. That's the end of the show. But look, it's funny. Everything that you're feeling, viewers, dear viewers who are watching this, it's exactly the same that we are feeling as well. Well, and I feel exactly the same way as you are. I do this for a living, and I'm in a position now where I'm in insane money, and I have my plan is change could change anytime. I don't have any insight that you don't have. I could feel like we're right now. I can pull out $45,000 profit, or even if I stay in it, I could make $100,000 in 2 weeks on this trade, or something crazy. Like it's the same devils are playing in my mind. Ultimately, I don't have a plan. I'm just going to have to watch the markets and react the way that they do. And there's no other insight that I have other than that. Don't give any thoughts on that. I've got for my long-term positions, I have a systematic approach. But for these trades that make money like this, it's been a week. You got to be happy with that, right? What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Please visit tonevase.com. Please visit alphanumetrics.com. Please like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Please use the affiliate links if you want to trade like the big boys. Use it, the exchanges
We're
that
gonna
we
wake this guy
love.
up so we can
Yeah,
say
look
goodbye.
at him. Yeah,
He's still
beautiful.
sleeping.
Well, I can't wait to be back with you tomorrow night, Tone. It's going to be a cracker. Let's see what happens today.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Go all-time highs. Let's do it.
All right. Hey
Thanks,
guys,
man.
thank you for watching, and see you all soon. I'll be in Panama the rest of the week, and yeah, we'll keep doing the shows in the morning. My morning. Later.